Alright, my pals, how's your Sunday night gone? Fucking shitty night. But I've just been chilling at home all day. Had a few beers last night with my cousin. Uh, so Christopher was at his grandpa's last night. It's usually a Friday that he goes, but change of plan this week, so all good. But I know I've not been home for a couple of days, but just obviously life gets in the way and shit happens, and then I have so many ideas of stuff to talk about that like I can go and research something for days and think about it, and then come on and talk about something completely different. But it's all good. Um, but I've been thinking about telling this story for a while. Um, it actually makes me laugh when I think about it. Because one of my pals who was involved in this is no long been released from prison. Good boy. Um, I don't really want to like say his name or anything, right? But I'm not want to use names in this, because I try and like maintain anonymity, no for any kind of particular reason. Even people tell you they don't mind and all that, but I just rather keep it that way, see, so that it's no evident and you know got to get people coming on arguing and fucking writing shit in comments. No, I just can't be arsed with all that, mate. Know what I mean? It's just toxic. It's pointless. Know what I mean? But there was one particular jail I was in, right, that was shall we say a little bit more laid back than probably all the other jails, right? And when I was in there, um, I kind of took to this group of guys, right, who were all kind of, shall we say, a bit more influential in the hall and in the prison in general. One of them was doing what you call a shop, right? So say like in prison, you go up to the guy that's doing this and say, give me like a bottle of iron brew and I'll give you a bottle of iron brew back with like a tariff, so like fucking a bar of chocolate at £1 or something. So he's making a profit off it, right? And the boy was doing really well. Good boy for Glasgow. Um, so there was about maybe 5 or 6 of them that I kind of would talk to, eat with, whatever, get a laugh with, all that shit. But I used to spend a lot of time on mine as well, because I do like my own company, and sometimes I like just lying in my cell and thinking about shit, about reflecting, and plus I was doing my degree at the time, so I was always reading something. Um, and these guys I've seen these guys basically, how should I put it? The screws asking them, can they bring certain people into the hall, right? Which is, I don't know, like, it's the screws fucking jail, so what they asking cons for? Know what I mean? I thought that was quite a bit funny. But they brought this guy in, right? And I'll call him Billy. So this guy Billy gets brought in the hall and he was like 2 cells down for me or something. And nobody really bothered. Like, I'd talk away to him and all that. Like, I didn't know him, didn't know him, didn't know him. And then somebody came into the hall that did know him, right? And then all of a sudden, there's all these rumours and accusations flying about that he's a beast. And um, I don't actually think he was a beast, like he was a sex case, but it was then time for like smashing these birds he'd in and fucking like he'd done sentences for it before and all this shit. So obviously the full hall has just cut ties with him, no spoke to him, they just keep him at arm's length, right? Everybody's talking behind his back, all this kind of shit, right? but there was only one guy in the entire hall who would speak to this Billy, right? We'll call him Derek or fucking something, right? So he would speak to him, but like this boy Derek, man, right? He was like a big bulk cunt, shaved head. He looked like a big knuckle dragger, but he looked like he was always scowling. But he used to talk away to me and all that, and I don't think he was in for it and dodgy. But they two would sit together all the time. That boy would look pure. It was like he was his wee dog or something, right? And you could just tell he was heavy doing this guy's nothing. So, my pal, who is just been released from prison, he's dead funny, right? And what he started doing was just heavy bamming this cunt up, that boy, right? Like doing wee things, pushing these buttons and all that. So say for talking sake, like my pal was doing a degree at the time in sports science, right? And he used to take his books and all that to work. I used to do that. See, if I wouldn't go anywhere in the jail without a book in my hand, because if I get locked in a room or go to the seg or whatever, like a book is just a book. It's not like it's heavy duty contraband. A book's something you're allowed, know what I mean? And it keeps my brain busy. Excuse me for yawning. Oh. So one time my pal told me he went down to work, right, and that fucking bully was sitting at his table, and he's walked in and he's got a big fucking, say like a JD bag, fucking packing with books, and he's just walked in, just slammed it right down on the table, right, and he's pure jumped. But that's just one incidence of the kind of things that they were doing to kind of push his buttons. But to be fair, the fact that he wasn't reacting, sorry, oh fuck, the fact that Billy wasn't reacting to any of this shows you, well, in my view, would be consistent with the type of person who's just a career woman beater. They'll not say nothing to a guy, but they'll threaten women and all that, you know what I mean? So this was all going to come to a head because that boy, you could just tell he hated my pal, right? But obviously my pal had way too much influence in this hall, probably in the jail as well, I would say. And he just was like, he was too well liked and all that shit. So, but what I think was going on was, I think that boy was sitting pure knitting. See the boy sat with him, that we'll call him Dale or Derek, right? I think he was just doing his nothing, like, see that cunt, he's doing my nothing, talking about my pal, right? And I think he just gets sick of it. I think it was affecting his mental health, if I'm being brutally honest. And I don't mean that as like a slagging or whatever, because see, sometimes in prison, right, see if you're listening to the same thing hour and hour again, right, it's going to affect your mental health. And what I mean by that is, it could make you heavy angry, it could make you start heavy fucking arguing with yourself, and I'm speaking from personal experience when I say that. I've done it out here as well, to be honest, a few years back. Had some issues, and it's one of you want to see you're stoning shaving, you're like, you're fucking pure heavy heat then overtime. So, see my pal who I'm talking about, who that bully hated, it was pushing Bully's buttons, right? His cell was direct, if you walk out my front cell, out the front of my cell, see directly across the landing was my pal's cell, right, facing directly into mine, and next door to him was my other pal, we'll call him Big Dodge, right? They two were next door to each other, and I got up one morning, right, earlier than usual, and I went and stood out on the landing, see, like, leaning on the big metal railing, right? And I sees that Dell walking round to my pal's cell. We call it a Peter. He's walked round to his Peter and he said to my pal, "Want to take Bully a square go?" And the weird thing is, I don't think he was asking my pal that because he was wanting to get involved. I think he was asking that because he was sick of listening to that Bully shite every fucking day. I think he was like, "We'll fucking go and see him then," sort of thing, know what I mean? But he just doesn't have the fucking balls to do it. So he walked away. But when he walked away, I walked round to my pal's cell, right? And I was like, what was he wanting? And he told us, and I was like, he will end up getting battered. But the funny thing is, he walked back round, right? That Dale walked back round the landing to my pal's Peter. But instead of getting into my pal's, he's went into Dodges, right? Fucking hell, blunder, mate. He ended up getting fucking smashed up and down the gaff. I think he got a ceramic mug broke out of his nut. So obviously when they're in there spanking him, I've just like pulled the door out, like so you couldn't hear it because I was right outside the door and you're no one to get MD caught. So the screws have come out in the landing, right, and the hall was dead silent. This is like back at 7 in the morning, right, 7:30 in the morning, right, and I'm standing looking on the railings like that, right, but fucking the screws have come out of the office away down the end of the landing just as fucking Billy's came out his Peter. And you can see when there's violence in prison, especially if it's in your wing, usually if I don't mean if you've trained yourself to pick up the signs, but what I mean is you pick up on it, man. It's like you can smell the vibration in the air or something. I don't know how to describe it. So the screws have come out the office and they're standing at the top of the stairs. It was like they were listening for something, and just as that's happened, fucking that what's his name, Matt Dells came fucking flying out the cell. But see, when that happened, the screws have come running up the landing for this way, and that fucking idiot Bully, he was like that to the screws, like basically shouting, "Get out there and deal with that," right? Before he'd even came out, found his way to get out the cell. So fucking screws have come running up and all that, but see as I've done that, my pal's scudding this cunt, right? That fucking Bully's ran up behind him with a fucking Sports Direct mug and just went to smash it right into the back of my pal's head. I was just standing watching them all fight, like standing there with all my books and all that, right? And then fucking the seas went to do that, man. I've just done that. Just grabbed him in a headlock and started running along the flat, right? And then I ended up, I was still carrying my books, right? My criminology books and that. But see, I don't know, right? It's just weird. But I've ended up, just letting them fall and just started fucking cracking this cunt, right? And fucking, before you know it, man, there's fucking screws have hit the bell, haven't they? And the hall's just flooded with fucking screws. And there's been a lockdown, right? So I'm lying in my Peter, right, thinking, that will be sound, I'll just move this cunt, right? Because they knew he was a shady character, man. He's might have been tracked. Even the wee bird in the library says she was giving him the creeps, man, know what I mean? It tells you women they're no daft, know what I mean? They pick up on cunts like this, a lot of them, know what I mean? So I'm lying in my Peter, right? And then the screws come in and go, "You're going to the seg." I'm like, "You fucking kidding me? I'm going to the seg for what?" And I was up for pro at the time. When was this? Was it 2016, 2017? It was something like, it was something like that, right? So, went down the seg and they moved me and Big Dodge to the seg, right? And the other two cunts that fucking, that boy, he was in the seg. I don't know if the other boy was, that Dell, right? I don't know if he went to the seg. He might have, but anyway, he definitely get moved, but I don't know if he went down there. So me and Big Dodger down the seg, man. I think we were down there about 3 days, a week or something like that, rolled up and all that, right? And the weird thing is, I didn't know Billy was in the seg until I heard him shouting out the window, right, to somebody. And he's at the window talking and all that, and seeing the digger, you can hear everything. But you need to be careful what you're shouting to people, because there's a screw's office and they can hear every wee thing. And I did hear later that there was a screw for the security and intelligence department writing down shit, right? And he's shouting out the window, fucking dafties think they're gangsters and fucking this and fucking that. That Chris is a fucking bam, that Dodge is a big dafty, big prick and all that. But see, the funny thing was, right, normally what you would expect if somebody's at the fucking window assassinating your character, normally what you'll find is the other people will jump up to the window and start shouting abuse. But what I find really no strange about this is me and Big Dodge never once shouted at him out that window, and it was because obviously we'd heard screws stone in there and write shit down. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't see the point in that arguing. Maybe in the YO's, right, where it's like, shit, I need to deal with this and I'll just get it tight worse next time and all that. So you need, but see, I don't really see, I'm older now as well, do you know what I mean? I don't see the fucking point in arguing with somebody that I can't even see. If you want to lock me in a room with them, I'm fine with that, but what's the point in giving myself a sore head arguing at a window, do you know what I mean? But this wee fucking rat, I think he went to Berlin after that. But after it was about say 3 to 5 days or a week tops. Me and Big Dodge went back up to the hall, and yeah, I've never seen this in my life, right? Seen we walked in the hall, you ever seen that bit in Goodfellas when he walks out of court and he's just a wee boy and they're all stoned and clapping? That was what it was like when me and him walked back in the hall. It was fucking, I'm not gonna lie, it was a good feeling, mate. Every cunt was all stoned and heavy clapping and all that. It was funny as fuck, man, know what I mean? All stoned and heavy talking about fucking how funny it was. And the weird thing is, right, so see my criminology textbooks, the screws had took them and put them in a yellow biohazard bag, right? Because obviously blood had been spilt, and there was like one blood drop on my criminology dictionary, and the screws had basically said they had to bin it. It wasn't happening. So what happened was my pal who I was telling you about, who was also doing a degree, who was quite popular and that, he had actually went in and said to one of the screws, like, give him his shit back, not, and they were like, no, 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 that, and then just went in, went in and took it, literally went in and just took it, and they weren't saying anything, man. It's mad, like, it's only books, but do you know what I mean? It would be different if it was like, see, like if one of us had been caught with a phone or a tool or whatever, then mate, you're not getting nothing back, and you're probably getting civvy charged as well. But books are just fucking books, know what I mean? Like, get a grip, man. But that was one of my funnier experiences, and I never saw they two again after that. But I heard one of them, that Dell, he'd went to another jail and fucking napalmed somebody, fucking flung boiling water and sugar at him and just kicked his door shut and that. But I think he was a bit hangry with the mental health as well, because you attract your own kind a lot of the time. So if you're sitting with somebody who's just pure negative, toxic and all that, chances are you are as well. You know, I believe that. I couldn't sit with him like that, because it does start affecting my mental health, and it starts bringing out the worst in me. Like, I'm not going to lie, that's how I need to bring people who are fucking level headed, know what they want in life, or they know that people that know they don't want to live in amongst violence and chaos and fucking tragedy, and wonder, why is this happening to me? Like, maybe it's because you're rolling in these circles, you know what I mean? But that was one of the funnier things I remember, and I was got to come on and talk about it last week or something, when my pal got out, but just I've just been fucking a bit busy, obviously because of the volunteering's really picking up, and then BBC podcast and this and that and blah blah blah, and then by the time I'm getting time to myself, I just want to chill, do you know what I mean? It was funny yesterday in my jiu-jitsu class, right? So at the end you get to spar with all different people, right? And like this place is like mad because it could be somebody that's just started that day, but you don't know. You just know you've not seen them before, but you don't like I don't know. And then I was like that. So you like fist bump them, right? Slap the horn, fist bump before you start rolling about, right? I was like that. Alright mate, where you for or something? And I thought he sounded Polish. He was talking with a gum shield in, but I was like, alright mate, you been coming here a while or something? He said, no, I've just started. And I says, oh, I was like, where are you from? And he's like, Italy. And I just pure started speaking Italian to him. And he was like, fuck's sake man, you're the first person I've met in Scotland who actually spoke Italian to me. And it's pure funny because we were standing in the middle of the mats and everybody around us is rolling about the flare, choking fuck out each other. Me and him are standing conversing in Italian. It was funny. And the tutor actually came up and he's like, what you doing or something? Know what I mean? But it's all good. It was just quite funny. And the funny thing is, a pal of mine is just back for Italy today, so that's what I was saying to him. I was like, my pal's away to Genoa for a weekend. Mad, innit? Oh, mad, man. But I was actually surprised at how much, because I've no studied, I've been doing it for I was 12, but and I did the higher and all that. I didn't sit the exam, but I done all the assessments. Um, and I was just surprised at how well I managed to converse, because normally I'm pure stuttering and muttering and trying to think of shit to say. Know what I mean? But all good. Anyway, I'm back at it tomorrow. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous, but have a good Sunday night. Well, oh, it's only 5 past. Thought it was after 12, well. Right, so yous have a good night. Cheers for subbing and all that, man. I notice subs they're going up all the time now. And cheers. But I will speak to yous all next time I'm on, so have a good night. Speak to yous later.